Hi, friends. This is Unit 2, Lesson 2 for second grade math. Today, we are going to learn how to draw quick tens and quick hundreds to represent numbers. So let's start off by looking at the number 24, as you can see on my screen right here. So I want you to think about the number 24 and I want you to ask yourself, how many tens does 24 have? And how many ones does 24 have? Take a minute and think about that. So you should have said that 24 has two tens and four ones. Do you agree? Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. So two tens and four ones, right? Now, we can draw the number 24 using circles or little cubes, right? So if I take my cubes and I have 1, 2, 3, all the way to 24, this could take quite a while, right? Let's see how many we're at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there is 10, right? Now, do I want to do that again for another 10 and then add the four ones? No, I don't. So instead of drawing 24 cubes or 24 circles, I know that one group of 10 is actually equal to what we call a 10 stick or a 10 rod. So here is pretty much the same, right? Except I didn't have to do it one at a time. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so now I'm going to get rid of all of these. There we go. Okay, and so how much is that blue worth? This is a 10 rod or a 10 stick, so it's worth 10. I can grab another one and put it here. So now how much do I have? I have 10, 20, and now I can go back to these little guys and I can do 21, 22, 23, and 24. So instead of drawing 24 individual cubes, I have 2 10 sticks and 4 ones. So that is right here. Another thing that we are going to talk about today, besides how to draw these with quick tens and quick hundreds, is we are going to talk about what's called expanded form. And let me write that down so you can see what it looks like. Expanded form. So, what expanded form means is you are going to take the value of each of your place value. So, you're going to take the value of your tens, the value of your ones, or the value of your hundreds, and you're going to turn it into an equation. Now, that might sound a little confusing, but watch and see how it works. So, I can write the number, if I have two tens, okay, what is the value of two tens? I have 10 and 20. So 10 plus 10 is 20. So the value is 20. So I'm going to write a 20 right here. Now I'm going to add 4 to it. So I'm going to put a plus sign. And I know the value of 4 ones, or I can see right here, is just 4. Then I put an equal sign and it equals what is 20 plus 4, 24, right? So you can use expanded form to help you find the value of your tens and the value of your ones. Okay, let's try another number. I'm going to erase all these. I'll leave that. Okay, let's try the number 68. Okay, how many tens are in 68? So, two ways you can do it is you can listen. So, the number 68, I hear 60. Okay, so six tens, and then I have how many ones? Eight ones, right? So I can look right here and I see that my 6 is in the tens place. And so I know that's not just a 6, it actually means 60, which is six tens. And then I have eight ones. So before I draw that, what if I wrote it in expanded form? What would it look like? So what's the value of 60? If I count by tens 6 times, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, I get 60, right? And I can add in my plus sign. And I know the value of whatever's in the ones town is always just that number. So 8 ones equals is the same as 8. I can put my equal sign, and it's always going to go back and equal this first number right here. So 68, right? 60 plus 8 equals 68. Now, if I wanted to draw, I could. So there's, whoops, 1, 2. How many do I need again? 3, 4, 5, and 6. Why do you think I put this one all the way over here? What's the point of that? Did you say that because we like to have groups of 5 to make it easier to count? I sure hope so. So here's 5 tens, and then another one is 6 tens. Then I can go grab my ones, and I can start lining up my ones. So 1, I guess I can do it like this too. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, and finally 68. So we are going to be practicing using 10 sticks and ones. But there's also one more thing. What if I had a number instead of all these? Let's go ahead and get rid of these. And what if my number this time was 126? Okay. Now, I know that I have two tens, right? That's what this 2 right there tells me. I know I have 6 ones because that's what the 6 tells me. What does that 1 mean? That 1 is in the hundreds place. So that tells me I have 100. So I have 100, 2 tens, and 6 ones. So I know that I could draw my 6 ones, right? Just like we've been doing. Okay, there we go. Now I have two tens, so I could draw two 10 sticks, just like we've been doing, right? Okay. But how do I draw 100? Do I want to do a bunch of 10 sticks all the way to 100? I could. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to kind of fill these in. So far I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Let's make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I thought we had an extra one. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So this is 10 tens put together. That took a long time to do, though. Guess what? There is a symbol for 100. So we have little cubes for 1. We have a stick of 10 for 10. And for 100, we have what's called like a hundreds box, a hundreds block. Okay. And it's the same size. Look, it's the same exact size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of some of these. I'm going to move this a little bit. Whoops. Missed one. And now I'm going to put this right here. So what this looks like is I have 100 right here. And if you were to take and count all of these little squares, you'd get 100, right? I have two tens, so 10, 20, and I have 6 ones. So if you were to see this on a piece of paper, you would know that that meant 126, right? Now, I could also write that in expanded form, especially using this right here. I know that that orange box is 100. I added my plus sign. I know those two 10 sticks are 10 and 10, so that equals 20. Plus, not an equal sign yet, plus I know those little red squares, they have a value of 6. There are 6 total of them. So 6 ones equals a total of 126. Always goes back to that first number. So this is what we are going to be working with today. And throughout this lesson, or throughout this unit, excuse me, we're going to just do some basic computation in our workbook today, but it is very important that you are remembering that this is a hundreds block. These are 10 sticks, and these are cubes, or if you draw them on your paper, you might draw circles. That's how I draw them. And then we have expanded form, and we have how many of each place value are in the number. Okay. So let's go ahead. We're going to put our cubes away, and you'll have access to these on Canvas. So you can use them when you're doing your math in your workbook or on your math homework. But we're going to put them aside for now. And now we're going to solve some problems and look for some patterns. Okay, so we are on page 77 in your math book. And we are going to spend some time looking at patterns of numbers. And for this page, you're going to do some on your own, but I want you to do them in a super specific way, okay? So I actually want you to skip this first row and I want you to look at the second row. These are all basic facts within 10, and we're going to solve all of those first. So take a minute, pause the video, and solve these 3 problems. You should have gotten 3, 9, and 9. Okay. Now, I want you to look up at the problem above. So here it said 1 plus 2. This time it says 10 plus 20. What is the difference in these two equations right here? I see a 1, I see a 2, and they both are just adding what to the end? A 0. So let me ask you this. What is 10 plus 20? Did you say 30? So here it said 1 plus 2 equals 3. And here I added a 0 to every number. So there's my 1, there's my 2, there's my 3. There's a 0, a 0, and a 0. Okay, same thing goes for this one. I have 7 plus 2 equals 9. So here I have 70 plus 20 equals 90. Okay, so I have my 7, my 2, and my 9, and I added a 0 to each one. Same thing here. I have 6 plus 3 equals 9. So here I have 6 plus 3. I know it's going to be a 9. And then what do I add after? A 0. Good. I would like you to work on numbers 2 and 3 on your own. Again, solve the bottom one first and then use that to solve the top. So you're working on this row and this row, please. So pause the video and do that now. Okay, go ahead and check your answers with mine. Again, you're supposed to solve the bottom ones first. So I get 2 plus 7 equals 9. So 20 plus 70 equals 90. 3 plus 5 equals 8. So 30 plus 50 equals 80. And 4 plus 5 equals 9. So 40 plus 50 equals 90. Going down to the next one, I have 3 plus 6 equals 9. So 30 plus 60 equals 90, just adding on that 0. We're going to skip this one for a minute. 5 plus 4 equals 9, and 50 plus 40 equals 90. Now let's look at this one. So this one gets a little trickier only because now our answer is 10. So 2 plus 8 equals 10, right? I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring my 10 up, and then I added a 0. I added a 0. So I'm going to add a 0. Okay, so the ones down here are all very similar. Let's go ahead and solve 5 plus 5, 8 plus 2, and 4 plus 6. So do that now. And you should have gotten 10 for every answer. So now when I add a 0, when I keep everything the same but add the 0, I'm going to put a 10 up here and then add my 0. A 10 up here, add my 0. A 10 up here, and add my 0. So even though it looks a little different than like this problem, for example, I'm still using the same number and adding a 0. Okay, now I want you to try and do number 5 on your own. And I want you to be very careful on this problem right here. So pause the video and do that now, please. Okay, so you should have done 9 plus 1 equals 10. So 90 plus 10 equals 100, adding that 0. We're going to skip this one for a minute. We're going to go right here. So 4 plus 3 equals 7. And then 40 plus 30 equals 70. Add on that 0. Now let's go back to this one. You should have gotten 9 plus 2 equals 11. That's not so bad, right? Now I'm going to follow the same pattern as I did before. So I take my 11 and I write it up here. And I notice that it's 9 plus 2, 9 plus 2, and I add a 0. So all I'm going to do is add a 0. So you got it? That one's can be kind of tricky. Now I would like you to try row 6 on your own, starting by adding the bottom two and then, or adding the bottom problems and then the ones on top. Go ahead and pause the video and do that now. Okay, let's see what you came up with. So 5 plus 2 equals 7. So 50 plus 20 equals 70. 2 plus 3 equals 5. So 20 plus 30 equals 50. And 6 plus 7 equals 13. So don't get tricked here. I'm going to bring up my 13, and what am I adding on? A 0, right? So it's important to find patterns while you are adding numbers. I could have solved each one of those individually, but knowing what I know about the patterns made it so much easier, right? All right, friends, go ahead and turn your paper over to page 78. We have 4 word problems to solve today, and I'm going to let you in on a little secret. 3 of them are 2-step problems. You think we can do it? I bet we can. Okay, let's work together. It says there are 18 children in the library. 9 children leave the library. Then 3 more children come. How many children are in the library now? So a lot of times when we see the word then, it can be a 2-step problem, especially if we've already seen 2 numbers. So I know that this is the first step in my problem, right? So I have 18 children in the library. 9 children leave. So I'm going to start with 18. I know that 9 are leaving, so that's going to be a minus 9. And I have to figure out how many are left in the library. This is a doubles fact, so I get a 9 for my answer. Then what happens? 3 more children come. So I had 9. What am I going to do? Plus 3 equals 12. So 9 plus 3, and you can count on to get an answer of 12. You should start feeling really comfortable being able to solve 9 plus 3 pretty quickly. Okay, if you have to use your fingers, do it, but do it right away because you need to get faster and faster each day solving problems that look like this. So our answer would be 9 children. Number 8. Number 8 says some crayons are on the table. Mrs. Spain takes 5 of the crayons. Now there are 8 crayons on the table. How many crayons were on the table before? So I know I see this word before, and I see the sum to start. So this is one of those unknown start problems. So let's write our equation as we read it. So if I have some crayons are on the table, I'm going to start with a box. I know that Mrs. Spain takes 5. So that means subtract 5. And then now there are 8 on the table. Think back to those lessons in Unit 1. Do we ever solve a problem that looks like this? No. We always change it into adding. So I know this is my total minus my partner equals my partner. So all I need to do is take these 2 guys and add them together. So I have 8 plus 5 equals something. Did you get 13? I hope so. 13 crayons. Good. All right, 2 more to go. Let's look at number 9. The jewelry store has 8 red bracelets and some blue bracelets. There are 15 bracelets in all. Then, we think this is going to be a 2-step. 3 blue bracelets are sold. How many blue bracelets are still in the store? So it's important to note that blue bracelets is what we are looking for, right? So let's go back to this first step in our problem. There are 8 red bracelets and some blue bracelets. There are 15 in all. So I can write an equation using that information. 8 red plus some blue equals 15. So go ahead and pause the video and solve that right now. Did you get an answer of 7? Good. Then 3 blue bracelets are sold. So this was blue bracelets. So I have 7 blue. Then 3 are sold. So that means minus, and I get an answer of 4. So how many blue bracelets are still at the store? 4 blue bracelets. All right, and the last one. So it says Mr. Rivera baked 7 banana muffins and 9 orange muffins. He gives some to his friends. Now he has 8 muffins. How many muffins did he give to his friends? So this one doesn't necessarily sound like a two-step, but it is. So we know that he has 7 banana and 9 orange. Do we know how many he has total? No. So that's our first step. That's where we have to start. So we have 7 plus 9 equals something. Go ahead and solve that. You get 16. Then what happens? It says he gives some to his friends. I'm also going to put a rectangle around gives because that means minus. And now he has 8. So if I take my total amount of muffins, 16, he gives some, and now he has 8 left over. What's my answer to that? Pause the video and solve that. So if you don't like to solve that, you can also change it to this, right? We can always switch around our partners, but either way, this is a doubles fact, and you get an answer of 8 muffins. All right, good job today, friends. We will continue practicing with expanded form and using our 10 sticks and hundreds boxes and little circles as we go through this unit, and we're going to continue practicing word problems a little bit each day to make sure we are still understanding them. Good job today, friends. See you later.